You see everyone in the media. You see all the people who are friends with like Bill Gates, for example. They love Elon Musk. They love our billionaire capitalists. But then they're like, these Russian oligarchs, we need to sanction them because these people are evil. The Russian oligarchs, they're an oligarchy. They're an oligarchy. Hold, freeze, and pause. What does the Russian oligarch has over the American billionaire? Do people really want to pretend that these Russian oligarchs? You guys, like, if you take like 100 of these Russian oligarchs, I'm about to write a paper on this. I've been doing research on this. If you take 100 Russian oligarchs, their wealth does not even touch our top 3 biggest wealth holders. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and the Walton family shits on every single Russian oligarch combined. And I didn't even touch the rest of big tech. I didn't touch Wall Street. So what the fuck are you guys talking about? Russian oligarch.
Then what makes them an oligarch to you? If it's not money, if it's not the amount of money and the influence they have, then what makes them an oligarch? And what I saw, this clip, when you bring up oligarch, and Dr. Jason Johnson, this clip that it comes back to me when Nina Turner was on there. He was like, well, you work for a person who's part of the 1%. Why you don't call him an oligarch? Like, do you really not understand what an oligarch is? You're talking about Bernie Sanders, who's an elected person who should have influence in politics because we elected him to do that, versus Bill Gates and Michael Bloomberg, who aren't elected officials, and we're only listening to them because they're rich. Like, you're a doctor, Jason Johnson, and you don't know this is basic oligarch 101.
I'm going to pull a definition for you guys because I'm not here to defend Russian oligarchs as well. Because based on what I know, Russian oligarchs, they hold a large amount of influence in their society. But if you guys want to understand where I'm coming from, let me explain this concept to you guys. Because even the people in the West will acknowledge this. They will say, oh, the Putin has the oligarchs under his thumb. What? Putin has the oligarchs under his thumb? Do you guys realize it's the exact opposite in this country? So they're saying that the oligarchs are afraid of Putin in the centralized government of Russia. If you're a leftist, what's the criticism here? We want these motherfuckers to be afraid of us. So you understand, in Russia, the oligarchs are afraid of Putin, but in our country, our politicians are afraid of the billionaires and the oligarchs. Pause and hold. I'll repeat that one more time. In Russia, the oligarchs are afraid of Putin. In America, the politicians are afraid of the billionaire. Do you guys see the problem? Now I'm gonna show you guys the definition here. Let's have a blast. Because you guys want to see the propaganda. You guys want to know why I'm covering this and why I may clip it later. Check this out. This is the definition of an oligarch. And now check this, especially in Russia. Shut the fuck up. Look at this definition.
They added that shit in there.
Yeah, look at that propaganda. I did not do that shit.
It's everywhere, Nick. It's everywhere. It's in a dictionary. It's Wikipedia. It's everywhere.
So look at the definition, guys. So even when you read the definition, you will still say, why the fuck do you add the especially in Russia part? So a very rich business leader with a great deal of political influence. What? Wonder
Bill
why
Gates.
I've seen that.
Bill Gates is navigating pandemic. He's navigating. Bill Gates is the one that's leading that. Why? Why are we listening to Bill Gates? He's not a doctor of sciences. He's from computers. That's because of his money. We would not be listening to him for his money. Like American billionaires is the definition of oligarch. They're the literal definition of it, but we don't want to call them that.
Oh no! In this country, CJ, they're not oligarch. They are a smart businessman who make calculated investment decisions that everyone should look up to. Guys, and CJ was on point because he kind of he said exactly what I was leading to. So you have Bill Gates, who's a tech powerhouse. So he already dominates one industry. So I want to ask you guys, how does someone who made his fortune, his fame in tech, how does he become an influential public health expert? They had this guy on the World Health Forum giving some fucking speech. And I'm like, dude, he's a fucking tech nerd. Why the hell are you guys asking him about vaccines? And also, so not only is he a big tech powerhouse, he's in charge of public health policy apparently. But look at this. Do you guys know this? He also one of the largest. He is the largest private farmland holder in the United States. And also, check this out. Do they tell you about this? The plot against public education. We talk about all the time on the show how public education is shit. Because billionaires like Bill Gates are literally buying public education. Like, bro, so you want to talk about Russian oligarchs? Once again, I'm not denying the fact that Russians have oligarchs, but their oligarchs don't have shit on ours because Putin got these motherfuckers under his thumb.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bill Gates is writing public health policy. He is literally dictating the education that our youth getting. What like he's a big tech influencer. Bro, and this is just one billionaire. And we just did a story, CJ. Remember how we covered how Amazon bought the Black Congressional Caucus?
Yes.
We have the entire Black Congressional Caucus that is bought off by Jeff Bezos. And they own the Washington Post. But you want to talk about Russian oligarchs? Fuck that. At Revolutionary Blackout, people can get mad at us because I'm not buying it, bro. I grew up during the Iraq War. I remember the bullshit. And I am watching this when Margaret Kimberly said she never seen pro-war propaganda. I will also add propaganda into that. Yeah. I have never seen it like this.
Like it's been turned up, like past what I've ever seen on both levels. And I wasn't even thinking about the police state, but now that you mention it, it's actually like crime rate up, crime like it's like crime rate up. Like how much crime? I started looking into those numbers, and it was just like what I thought, Nick. It's like going from you're going from 50 robberies to 60 robberies, up 30%. But if you just say 50 to 60, you see how it's up 10 total. But if you use the percentage, it's a more effective way of scaring the population.
Hey, you want to know what's even dumber about this, CJ? And I don't know why I didn't bring this up before. I brought it up in the live stream I did earlier before. They also say, oh my God, the crime rate is going up, so we got to fund the police more. Guys, the crime rate is literally dictated by how many fucking arrests and murders they put on record. So these motherfuckers literally inflate the crime rate, and this is what they do. They will literally just report more crime because they get more funding. They get more funding, so they report more crime. Then they say, oh my God, crime is out of control, give us more money. And then whenever they don't report a lot of crime, they say, oh my God, the crime rate is dropped. We're doing a good job, give us more money. No matter what happens, no matter what the result, give us more money.
Like, there's no way for them to even know what the real crime rate is because so many crimes are not even reported. That's the first thing. And then two, the people who is in charge of solving crime is the ones we're depending on to report the accurate of crime. That's a conflict of interest. That's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, you said
that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, you said exactly what I was about to say on that. Like it's such a blatant conflict of interest. And once again, if you want to complain about Russian oligarchs, what are you doing? Like, what are the Russian oligarchs doing that ruining your life? Let me give you guys another example. I said I would do one, but I just thought of another one. You know our defense secretary right now. And there's been many, many examples of this, but this is the most recent one. Lloyd Austin literally comes from Raytheon, right? He's a fucking millionaire. He's rich. Come from the weapon defense contracting industry, gets a job in one of the highest office in our government, in the executive branch, defense secretary. But you want to talk about Russian oligarchy? Like, bro, nothing. Like, there is no corporate state that is more tied to corporate power more than ours. Do you guys understand that? There's no bigger merger between corporate and state than ours. You have Michael Bloomberg. Another example. I can give you guys examples all day. Michael Bloomberg recently, I didn't report on the story about it because I didn't really care about it, to be honest, but it backs my point here. Michael Bloomberg is spending a ton of money because he investing in races, and he's gonna pour money towards centrist Democrats. So essentially, any Democrat that don't support Medicare for all, anyone who has a progressive challenger, Mike Bloomberg recently just came out and said he's gonna fund their challengers to stop the Democratic Party from going left. But go ahead and so you in this country where elections are decided by money at around a 95% rate. 95% of the time, you can predict an election based on who raised the most money. But then you have billionaires like Mike Bloomberg say, we're going to fund candidates who are against healthcare. How is that not a billionaire takeover of the election system? Unlike any other country has ever seen. But go ahead and talk about Russian oligarchs. Russian oligarchs don't hold a candle to Mike Bloomberg.
Not at all.
He has his own media institution called fucking Bloomberg.
He didn't even try to give it another name. He just said, name it after me.
Yeah, that's funny. Name it after me. So they control farmland like Bill Gates. They control public education. They control public health policy. They run ads to help people they want to get elected, which they always have done. But you guys want to bitch and complain and pretend that Russian oligarchs is just something that is unique?